Are you stuck in a spiral of what ifs when it comes to making a decision about your love life? Maybe your head says one thing and your heart says something else. What if I told you that the answer is already there and you can access it with your sixth sense as to what the decision is that you need to make? So if you would like to tap into your sixth sense, then stick around until the end and you'll learn how you can tap into your sixth sense in order to make an important decision. So one of my clients, Allison, she was going to the bank to make a wire transfer, and as she was driving to the bank, she felt like a huge knot in her stomach and she felt really sick, as though she shouldn't really be sending the wire, but she kind of felt like she had to send the wire and so on. And she ended up not sending the wire, and within a few days she found out that the person on the other end was trying to, let's say for lack of a better word, steal her money. So essentially, if she had moved forward with the wire transfer, then this would have led to her losing her money. That is the power of the sixth sense, to be able to alert you when you are about to make a huge mistake. Hello everybody, I am Vaishali Nikhare. I'm an engineer turned psychic with over 9,000 readings, and I show you how you can leverage the power of stars for your love life. In this video, you're going to learn what you didn't know about the five senses, the mysterious sixth sense, how the sixth sense communicates with you, and how to get the answer you're looking for. Your goal is to connect with your sixth sense as soon as possible before making an important decision, so that you don't feel like you've made the wrong decision, which is just going to lead you to heartache as well as wasting your time on something that is never going to pan out or work out in the future. So the first part is what you didn't know about the five senses. So most of us are fortunate enough to be born with five senses. So we can see with our eyes, we can hear with our ears, we can smell with our nose, we can taste with our tongue, and we can feel with our skin or touch, however way you want to look at it. So these are the five senses. However, the five senses have their limitations. The limitations of the five senses is they only have access to present time, which means that everything that any of this sense is accessing is limited by the present time. If I want to taste a food, I can only taste it like right now and know how the taste of the food is going to be. Or if I want to smell a perfume, then I can smell it, and then after, let's say I go to a department store and I'm testing out various perfumes. So I can smell, let's say I smell 10 of them. So I smell each one of them, and then after I'm gone, it's kind of just sitting in my mind that, oh, this one smelled better than the other one, kind of a thing. But I don't essentially have access to the exact smell of each and every perfume in present time because the perfume is not there with me. So similar thing for the eyes. As far as my vision is concerned, I can only see what is in front of me. Let's say I go to the department store, I can only see like whatever is in front of me. As soon as I walk out of the department store, I can see something, but my vision is going to be different because now I have access to something which is outside the department store. I cannot really go and see inside the department store because I have already left that store. So essentially, the point is that everything that the five senses have has limitation, and the limitation is that of present time. Which means that when you have to make an important decision, the only thing you have access to as far as the five senses are concerned is present time. You will only have access to the information in present time. You don't really know, like if you make a decision one way versus the other way, how it is going to pan out, because you only have access to present time. So now we come to the mysterious sixth sense. Sixth sense is different than our five senses in the sense that it can tap into more than the present time. It can tap into the future, it can tap into the past as well. So now, because the sixth sense can tap into the future, if you were going to make a certain decision in present time, your sixth sense can alert you that, oh, it's not really a good decision. Just like Allison, she was going to make a wire. So in present time, or using her five senses, it seemed like a good idea. But her sixth sense was alerting her that something is not right, something is wrong. So she needed to back off. And that's essentially what sixth sense does. It was essentially trying to tell her that the transaction was kind of going to have her lose money, or it was going to be fraudulent. The sixth sense was trying to communicate that to her via her gut feelings, like she felt a really, really sick feeling in her stomach. So that's essentially what the sixth sense does. It is trying to communicate with you. It is trying to warn you. It is trying to tell you that, oh, this decision that you're going to make or you're about to make, it is not the right decision, because if you make this decision, then essentially you are going to be in trouble, just like Allison was. Like if she made that wire, then essentially she was going to lose the money. So that's how her sixth sense was communicating with her. So the bottom line is that sixth sense has access to what is going to happen in the future, and because of that, it can warn you before you're about to make a big mistake. So go ahead and put in the comments below if you've ever had your sixth sense warn you that you are about to make a mistake. And maybe at times you will listen to the warning, at times you did not listen to the warning. But in particular, what is important is if you don't listen to the warning. What happens if you don't listen to the warning? Things essentially are going to go bad. And then you're going to be able to reflect back and say, oh my God, this is what the sixth sense was trying to tell me. And that's how you will know that the sixth sense was trying to warn you or tell you of something. So maybe you make a mistake the first time, but the next time it happens, you will be more aware of it, and then you're most likely going to avoid that mistake. So now we come to the next part about tapping into your sixth sense. Tapping into your sixth sense, it can be done in different ways. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to stick to meditation as being one of the avenues through which you can tap into your sixth sense. All of us are born with the sixth sense. However, most of us, we do not exercise this muscle, and because we do not exercise this muscle, we don't really have so much access to it in terms of the outcome it can give us or it can provide to us. So as far as the sixth sense communicating with you, it is going to communicate with you in various ways. For some people, they are going to get a gut feeling, just like Allison did, that, oh my God, something bad is about to happen. And as she kept getting closer and closer to the bank, the feeling was very, very strong, because it was trying to warn her that, oh my God, you're going to lose the money. Don't go ahead and do that wire. So that is one of the ways the sixth sense can communicate with you. Another way the sixth sense can communicate with you is via visions. And it would just be more of an image or a flash of an image that you see in front of you, especially when you are doing your meditation. And this image is going to provide you information, or it is going to be a link in terms of you making your decision. So let's say that if you made the decision, then we'll just take Allison's example. If you went ahead and did the wire, then you're going to lose the money. So in her case, she didn't really do the meditation, but in her case, if she had done that meditation, if she had tapped into her sixth sense, it would have shown her that there is some sort of a danger, that you shouldn't be doing the wire, that you should stop, you should think about it, or you should make some calls, and so on. So that is one way the sixth sense can warn you, through the visions. Another way is through what is known as a silent whisper. It is the sense of clairaudience, but essentially you hear sounds which are outside the human frequencies. And this is one of my stronger senses. So whenever anything is going to happen, especially anything bad, then I get advanced notification, and then I'm left wondering, was this my imagination, or is this like a warning that something bad is going to happen? So that is another way your sixth sense can communicate with you. Another way is that you just get a gut feeling that, oh, I just don't feel right about it. And everything in the logical world, everything checks out perfectly. But as far as the sixth sense is concerned, it is trying to tell you, oh my God, no, something is wrong, don't do it. So that is another way your sixth sense can communicate with you. However, all of us are unique human beings. So with each one of us, the sixth sense is going to communicate differently. For instance, let's just take the example of reading a book. Some people would like to read a physical book, like you take a physical copy of the book and read it. Some people may read the book on Kindle. Some people may actually listen to the book on Audible. And none of these are right or wrong ways to access the information in the book. They are just different ways because people absorb information differently. And some people may just like to listen to the book, and that is how they get more from the book, because they may not have time to read, or they find that by listening to the book, they're able to get the information more clearly, or they understand the things more clearly. So the sixth sense works the same way. For each one of us, the sixth sense is going to give us the message or give us the information in a unique manner. Just like reading the book. And it is going to be personalized for each one of us based on whatever our stronger ability is. And I just mentioned that, for me, clairaudience is a stronger ability. So every time something is going to happen, I get the message. It just comes from nowhere. It pops in the punchline and it's gone. And I am thinking, oh my God, is this going to be true or not? And then I do some more work to find out if it's going to be true. And you can do the same thing. You have to find out for yourself, how is the sixth sense trying to tap into you or trying to talk to you? Because once you figure that out, then it gets a lot easier. So how exactly do you figure out how the sixth sense is kind of trying to talk to you? You can go back to some significant events in your life where I mentioned the example of Allison, where she was trying to make a wire, which was she was about to make a mistake, and she felt like something was going to go wrong. So in her case, the sixth sense was trying to talk to her through the gut feelings. In my case, I mentioned that the sixth sense, it comes to me through a voice, which is outside the human frequency. It is, think of it as more of a spirit voice, but it's not so easy to explain, but it's just there. It comes in, it pops the information, it's gone. And it's not like a whole bunch of details or anything. It's most of the time, it's a punchline. Maybe at the most 2 lines, but I've done it so many times that I know exactly what it is trying to tell me when it comes in. It is a clear sentence. It is just not in the range of the human frequency. So that is how it is trying to talk to me. And I do get visions as well. I have another video which I will link here, where somebody got visions of what is about to happen and how they avoided that disaster. So that is another way the sixth sense can talk to you. So now, how to get an answer you're looking for by tapping into your sixth sense? I already mentioned that you are going to have one predominant way that the sixth sense is trying to communicate with you. And this is going to be unique to you, and you're going to have to figure that out based on your past experiences. Every one of us has some past experiences where the sixth sense has tried to talk to us or communicate with us. And at the time, we don't really get it, but we can kind of get it after the event has happened. As a psychic, a lot of my clients come to me with questions about relationships. For instance, one of my clients, she came to me, let's call her Jane Doe, and Jane came to me and she had two people she was considering, and she wasn't really sure whether she should go with person one or whether she should go with person two. In this particular case, what she can do is she can tap into her sixth sense and she can see what the outcome is going to be if she goes with person one and what the outcome is going to be if she goes with person two. So maybe if clairaudience is her predominant sixth sense, then it will just come in and it will pop in an answer, which is going to say that, hey, go with person one or go with person two. So that could be one way. If clairvoyance is one of her prominent sixth sense or predominant sixth sense, then she'll probably see a vision that maybe she is in a long-term relationship with person one and things fall out with person two. She could see either of those two images, or she could see only one of the images. So the sixth sense is not like very logical because it's going to give you the information, but it is going to be up to you to be able to decode and make sense of it. So it is possible that she may get only one vision, which is she is in a long-term relationship with person two. So then she has to kind of just decode from it that, okay, person one is going to fall off. Or she may get a vision that person one is going to fall off, and then she has to decode from it that, okay, person one is out. So what happens with person two? So then she could tap into her sixth sense again and kind of find out what's going to happen with person two, because it didn't really say that something is going to happen with person two. All it said is that person one is going to fall off. So don't try to like make more than what you see. It is exactly and only what you see. Just stick to what you see and nothing more and nothing less. One of my clients felt that something was off, and what she did was she tapped into her sixth sense and she was able to figure out that things were going to fall apart. So what happens? Why is this so important? Because by having this piece of information, you essentially end up not wasting your time over something that is going to go nowhere. Otherwise, I get a lot of clients who are like, oh, is this person going to come back? Is he going to call me back? Those kind of scenarios. But the thing is, if they had tapped into their sixth sense before, then they would have already known that things weren't going to work out. The further down the road you travel, the more time you have spent, and then it takes a lot more time for you to be able to heal and get back to ground zero and start operating again. So that is the advantage of getting the answer you're looking for sooner and tapping into your sixth sense. So if you would like to activate your sixth sense, I have a free guide for you, and the link is below, and you can click on that link, and there are some instructions in that guide on how you can work about to activate your sixth sense. If you want a more concrete, coherent example, I have an example of just clairvoyance where you can see visions and how this lady was able to access her clairvoyance and avoid that disaster. What kind of disaster? Well, you're going to find out if you go and watch that video, and I'll see you in the next video.